by the time this interview is out, your movie An Amish Sin is going to be out. So congratulations on that. What has that been like kind of building up to that release and having it out in the public?
Oh goodness. I feel like when I was in those 3 weeks, it kind of was surreal. Then after I finished, I was like, okay, I just did that film. And then you kind of leave it for a couple months and then it comes out and you're like, you get all excited again. I feel like now that I've got to see the movie, I can kind of stop like anticipating it and like, okay, what is it gonna look like? So I finally got to see it and I'm just so proud of what everyone did. I feel like it truly was like a team effort. And so yeah, I couldn't be happier for everyone in the film.
I mean, now that you've watched it, what can viewers expect from it now that you've taken the time to see what the finished product looks like?
Yeah, they can expect a whirlwind of emotions for sure. It was so cool. Kind of, for example, I got to see my mom watch it. And like parts she actually said like, oh no, or no, what is she doing? Or stuff like that. And I'm like, Mom, like, what are you doing? But it truly was cool to see what people were going through. And I think they just really get to see a story of courage is the biggest thing. And strength building within Rachel the whole time and ups and downs and family issues, which we've all like, probably experienced on a deeper level though. But yeah, I think it's just definitely a whirlwind of emotions and just, yeah, a story of courage.
Yes, this definitely is a story of courage, but it's also based off of a true story. I'm wondering, was there any struggles for you as an actress kind of having to take on that role of bringing this true story to life?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking having to learn about this. And I think it's just another added level once you find out that things are true. Because you're like, how could this happen? And it was like, I feel like when you're acting, your body doesn't know the difference between like you acting and like real emotions is the biggest thing. And so like I really felt like I had been going through this and then it just made me sympathize with the person the stories were about. And she's not the only one. It's very prevalent. So that was really tough to go through that. But then I'm also so grateful that I got to portray this and that I get to share the story because I think this is something so important. I think whenever we get to get cast in a movie that is about something like this or something that truly is inspiring that needs to be known, I think I couldn't be more grateful that I get to share the story about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for this movie as a whole, was it more the script and the story that drew you to it, or your character Rachel? Could you talk more about that?
Yeah, I think just the story as a whole was something that was super incredible. And yeah, Rachel is just so interesting. I think she's always had like this inner strength about her, and I really loved that. And one thing I really wanted to keep about her was this light about her, and that's what I loved. That's what it like. The more I discovered about her character, the more I loved her in the sense. I think she went through so many bad things, but still had this light about her, which was what I really wanted to get across is that it wasn't just all darkness. Like she truly became what I like to call salt and light. She like really led the charge with courage and found people to support her. And I think that's what I love about the story, that it is about something super dark, but she carried the lightness throughout the whole movie.
And as you said, there are a lot of emotions within this movie. I'm wondering, when you were off camera, do you have a favorite time from or memory from this set?
Like offset, are you saying like offset?
Offset, onset,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh goodness. Okay, so something is kind of like when I was getting ready in the makeup trailer, and I have to say the people on set were just so awesome. The crew was just like I couldn't ask for a better crew. But I have my ears pierced, and the Amish people don't have their ears pierced, and so my makeup person and I would always call it our morning ritual because she would have to put silicone in my like the ear holes and then hold the gel pad there for like 2 minutes. And it was like, okay, do we look at each other? Do we not look at each other? Because she's so close to me. And then we just ended up making it a joke that it was just our morning ritual and we couldn't start the day without it. And so that became kind of a joke. And I think that was the biggest thing was that everyone made it a light set, which it needed to be because it was such a dark subject matter.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, was that weird kind of going back to wearing earrings full time after doing that?
Totally. And I think sometimes I forgot to take the silicone off too. So people
Mhm.
would come up to me like, what is in your ear? I'm like, oh, it's sorry. It's just silicone. Let me just keep that out. Like it was just so funny. Yeah. I think the transition, like even like no technology to technology and like no light switches to light switches, like it was just like I felt like I always went back in time going on to set. It was like the weirdest feeling.
Fair enough. I mean, would you be able to get rid of all that stuff, like technology and stuff like that, if you were just living your life? Or was it kind of hard for you?
I feel like me personally, I could not live without technology. And so yeah, even just this like the ways they were making things, and like there was a scene where I had to sew, and I was like, I don't know, like I actually am a dancer, so I used to sew my point shoes, but I'm like, I don't sew on a regular basis, but like it just was so funny. Yeah.
Yes, but if you could describe this film as a whole in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, let's say courage, uh, renewal,
Okay.
and oh goodness. I'm gonna say darkness because there is a lot of that in it. So those 3 words.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
But my last question for you, I know you're busy with this release, but do you have any future projects that you can hint at or talk about?
Totally. I just worked on the second season of Cruel Summer, which was super fun to work on. When I looked at like that Jessica Biel was the producer, I kind of had like a little freak out moment. I was like, maybe I'll see her on set. Didn't end up seeing her on set, but that was really cool to be a part of that project. And then in terms of dancing, I also judge dance competitions. So I'm going to be traveling around Canada doing that. So kind of have my foot in both areas a little bit. So yeah, that's currently what I'm working on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll see you in Canada.
Yes, totally.
But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It was so great to talk to you, and congratulations on everything.
Much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thanks for having me. This was so fun.